Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode one of the Communication Outcome Podcast. My name is Chad Eves. I'm your host, and I'm also the founder of communicationoutcome.com. So, obviously, this sounds like it's going to have something to do with communication. And you'd be right, it's going to. And there's a very important reason why communication matters. Now, we talk about what communication is, and a lot of people think it's going to be giving presentations, writing something, maybe writing a report, an email. What's the best ways to do impromptu speaking, whatever. And those things are important, but there's more to it than just that. Communication is the gateway to opportunity, and that opportunity is for you and for all of us to get the outcomes that we're pursuing. The outcomes is what's important in communications. It's important because that's the result of how we relate to people. It's the result of how we connect with people and also how we express ourselves, which brings me to another point about some communications articles or training or books you may have seen. The top 5 ways to do a PowerPoint presentation, or, what successful people do in pitch decks, or, whatever the topic du jour is. But almost all of these is missing the important ingredient to what makes an effective communication for a desirable outcome, and that's you. It's the individual, it's each of us. And instead of aping some other person of how he or she does something and how well that may or may not work for us, instead, things are laid out as gospel, as the only way to do stuff. If you want to be like Steve Jobs, you need to present like him. If you want to, give a speech like a certain president or celebrity, you've got to echo and copy what that person does. And this is not good. It's not just not a good training, because the thing about communication, and where a lot of people where we miss a step, is we don't include who we are. We don't include why something is important to you, who you are, why this message is important, why an outcome is important. And a lot of times we've been conditioned not to overshare that. Someone might say, "Oh, I want to make a lot of money, or I need to make a lot of money." Okay, a lot of people fall into that bucket. But then why? Why is that important? Maybe they have an ill relative, a child that needs a certain types of care. Maybe they've had a certain near death experience and they found a new passion in life that they want to pursue. And it's understanding why something is important to the individual, to you. And that's what communication outcome is built around. It's what's the outcome that's important to you as the individual, whether it's on a personal level, a professional level, with friends, with family, with coworkers, community members, fellow citizens of your nation, or people around the world. Why is it important? Now, we talked about speaking and writing, and yes, those are essential skills, and we are going to go over those. We will go over many different types of technical skills and strategies and techniques, and those are all foundational to being effective at communication. But how are they employed? How do we use them? What's the motivational side of it? What's the creative side? How can we work on our communications so that they stand out from other people? So it's not exactly the same. How can we be bold about what we believe in and the outcomes that we want to achieve? And this is how communication outcome is designed. Communicationoutcome.com is an online communication training website. Think of us as the Netflix of communications training. You pay a membership fee, you get access to fresh content every week. We put out fresh videos, we put out fresh guides and worksheets, there's articles, and there's also live events. The reason why we do this is we built this to be accessible, and that's the first of our 3 guiding principles. It's accessible to as many people as possible. These are life-changing skills that can impact what happens to you today and down the road, how they can benefit you as an individual and the people around you. The second principle that we use is applicable knowledge. The knowledge is designed to be consumed fairly quickly and easily in one sitting, a video, a reading, a worksheet that you can take and apply. And that's the important part is apply. You learn the information. You watch our videos, you attend a live event, whatever it might be in that instance. But then you can take it and you apply it. And maybe it's something that's brand new for you, or it might be something that you're just changing the way you do something a little bit. Maybe it sharpens that skill in a certain way that gives you an advantage when you're communicating with your audiences. And the last principle is it's all about the outcome. What is it that we're communicating about? What is the goal? What is it that we want to achieve? And communicating for communicating's sake, that's not really going to get us to the places that we want to be in our personal and professional lives. It's what's that outcome? How does that drive it? How do we structure what and how and when we're going to communicate to best achieve that outcome? Now, is communication outcome going to solve all communication ills in one day? Is it going to fix some of the communication challenges that we have in our personal worlds, at work, as a country? No. But what we do is we work so that each of us can be better today than we were yesterday. And in some days, what we learn is going to be a massive impact to our lives. Some days, it's going to be small, but it can still be really important. The important thing is that we keep moving forward and learning how to better communicate and connect and achieve the outcomes that we want together, that we keep making that progress. I look forward to more of our meetings here in podcast land. We'll be putting out fresh podcasts every week. This is our countdown week. Communicationoutcome.com launches on October 4th. That's a week from today. And um, you can keep track of the stuff that we're doing in our launch, but also after we go live. On our website, communicationoutcome.com, is our links to our social media accounts. As part of the launch week, we'll be putting out a video on factors of communication success, one a day, through Friday this week. Also, when you're at the website, consider becoming a member of the communication outcome community. Like I said, we're kind of modeled after Netflix in a way in that it's a membership, but it's also a membership that's $14.97 a month that can have life changing implications. If you join before October 31st, we're having a first members rate, which means it's $9.97 a month, and you keep that rate as long as that account is active. It's a way for us here at communicationoutcome.com to say thank you to those of us who support this idea and have joined us in this journey of communication. As we wrap up here today, our goal is to be concise. It's to practice brevity. You'll hear that term a lot, so that we each become better. We take this knowledge and we apply it into our lives, personal and at work. And it's important to remember that as we develop and employ more effective and better communication skills, these set the stage for better outcomes.